Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, cameras and tape rolls. Today, it's very late now, but whatever, and I'm sorry for have been procrastinating this a lot, and I look like a madman in my hair. However, I'm gonna show you now how to make this thing. Hello, I do have got a lot of requests. I've got patterns and I don't really know how to release them, but what I'm showing you how to do them anyway, because this screen can, you know, with your fantastic tool of zooming in and out in the picture browsing tool that you have on Windows, I have measured that this should be like 33 centimeters the part, or 32 or something. So I'm just doing this, that I am bluing this up to that is like 32 almost, so we can get a little bit more into the screen. You see you have the rough edges, but it's very, very pixelated. And then I take paper, and a good way is to shut the lights off when you do this, but I cannot do that because then we will not see anything. And then you just take that, and you see it shines through that you can almost see the knob there. And I'm just forming that with a pencil. Oh, sorry, yeah, pencil. Sorry. The pencil in Swedish is the same word for brush for some reason in English, so it's a bit confusing. So you see, and then you just paint it out a bit, and then we straighten that up with some tools. And you see, I have done there, so now we are going to do that. For you who wanted the patterns, I think that is how you do them. So you see that we are going to actually put it here to see if it's gonna, you know, actually fit. And as you see that I'm going to make this thing a little bit larger, like 1 centimeter on the side, and that's because, well, it was a little bit smaller, and also it's going to bend, so it needs some space to actually bend around this thing. So that's why you're gonna make it 1 centimeter bigger. And now cut it out, and it looks like that. Basically all the step of cutting I will cut out from this video, because that will be a lot of useless videos of me cutting stuff, which are quite explanatory. But you see, there's the middle stuff there. And now we're gonna do the little cushioning thing that I mentioned last time. You see, there we have drawn it out there, and I have bent this a bit, so it will look like it is boosting the game. And now we're gonna cut the edges off here, because it's gonna be a little bit more rounded. You don't have to be super duper accurate, but it depends on what you use for kind of a yoga madras for it. But you see, now it looks like that, like in the game-ish. And you see, now I'm going to first put hot glue on the top until the absolute edge of that shape. I'm going to make that like that. And now we're gonna put this like that. And this is just gonna be part of this much bigger, because you never know how things will stretch. And now you're gonna squeeze in the glue gun and fill up with glue around the edges, and now we have to push down hard while this is drying and hold it into shape, so it will actually keep its shapes like that. And now when we have done it on both sides, we are going to glue this thing on until the little edge what I have put there, and due to we know this is 1 centimeter smaller, it's just going to cut around the edges and then cut 1 centimeter in, like I'm doing here. You see, it's not very. And you need to keep this sharp, so if you have a sharpening stone, be sure to use that on this thing, or buy multiple blades. But a sharpening stone will actually make the blades last much longer, so that's a very good investment. And you see, now it looks in properly, and I have saved this part due to I don't really know how the hinge thing will look on the side, but I will save that later. And now I'm putting just a little cap on that thing that is from I think it's baby food or something. I don't really remember, but it's kind of a plastic bag with a lid on it. So we are gonna put them there, and I think it's quite cool parts. So now we're heating this up, and actually take the thumb while it's quite hot and actually shape it You can burn yourself if it's too much, but you notice that because the material starts to boil. And now you just see how look this will be with a touch of the heat gun. So we will have the more little plastic surfacey. So it looks kind of bad CG. Anyway, so now I'm cocked up a little bit there, so I have to cut that away. And now you see I took the tube there and spun and pushed at the same time to do the holes, which is very, very good. You see, I can do that almost everything. And the good thing was that I have a clear part there, so you can see how the process is going on inside the tube, which is quite cool. Anyway, now we're taking this half-rounded things, and we're just gonna push things down there because some kind of detail looks like that. So I'm just gonna paint that metal later, but that will be a separate part when I'm going to paint. Anyway, so now I also take the template and just put it on top of it and actually cut right through it, so you will have little cuts there for this vents that is used for something. Anyway, so inside you see I have heat this up so it will be a little bit more rounded. I have to cut them an extra time so they will look nice. Now we're just cleaning up the edges a bit. And now here's also, you see, I'm taking this pencil and just pushing it through so I can mark where they are. And now I'm taking this smaller tube and just twisting it and pushing it so we can get some holes for this other vent things, because there are lots of very strange ventilations holes on this costume. Anyway, so now that will look very, very nice indeed. And I also decided to cut this thing off so it will look proper in a way. Anyway, that hinge I was mentioning, I will probably ignore that. Depends on how much I will move my shoulder. But we'll get to that in the next part. And now, you see, I'm going to make this little, what do you call it, abs armor, which is a bunch of complicated parts, but this is just doing the same thing over and over again. And you see I've done this in so you see I'm pushing it through so I can make the lines, and also I can take a straightening tool and straightening these things up, which I don't really remember the name for the straightening tools, but you use them in school, but whatever. Let's not get that much into detail in things I should know. Anyway, so now I'm just going to cut out the little detail things and cut them out because they are going to be on top. But first, this vent things is also going to be cut out first. So just following the line all the way through. See, like that, and then we're gonna push it out and glue it on the back side so it will keep itself like that, because the part looks low. And now we're going to glue on some small details like that, and also removing that because I forgot that. And now we are going to put on this half penis looking things that are blue penises. If they had blue balls on top of it, it would be absolutely perfect for some kind of metaphor. Yes, you with dirty minds can absolutely fill this in by yourself. And now we're going to take this little paper holder things and put in. I have heard the name, but I do not remember them. But you see what it is, so use them. Anyway, you can buy them at office stores. And now we are going to do 6 exact the same of this other abs things. So I'm going to cut out from the foam, and then we're going to put out 6 of these details and put them there. See, like that. So I have this little thin craft foamy things. And now when we have pushed them, I will glue this with my hand in front of the glue gun, because why not? And you see, like that. And now we've done 6 of them. Ta-da! And now we're going to take this metal roof screws and take away their little watertight things, and then push them through to make these little things that they have. And now we're going to cut off half of it and split it in 2 like that, and glue it on top of that so they will fold over one another. so they will look like they do in the game, and this will be nice. Also, everything has funky colors, and I kind of like that. And now we're going to basically glue all that thing together, like that. Be sure that it's going to be straight. And now we have the belt buckle thing that this is going to fit onto. I'm not going to make it fit onto it. It's going to be a separate piece due to effectiveness. So you see, I take this template and I put it over there, and I have cut it out, and I have heat shaped it over my knee so it will hold itself, because your stomach is not straight. And now we're going to put those little plastic pipes there. But first, make some little lines so they will line up properly, and make that part. Which I don't really know what it looks like, but I have to guess here, but something like that. Because these things are going to be folded over. So you see, I made a little trenches there, and I'm gluing them into there. And then we put that thing over, like that. Fantastic, right? And now we're going to make these things fold in, so we're basically going to do the same thing as I did with the upper ab thing going on, because why not have strange details? Because there's clearly not enough of them on this costume. And now we're going to put this clear tube, which is the same size that I kind of need. And we're going to take these drill screws, the one I removed from the little watertight thing, to drill it onto the back side. With this drill, which is good to have drills. Just drills are good to drill with. Anyway, now, and we're also going to make this little detail thing here, and we still have the lids here from the baby food things. I think they are from I become an uncle like a year ago, so my sisters show up with some baby food, so it might be from them. You see, I've cut them in an angle like that, and they will be on like that, but then I forgot to film it, but I cut them a circle around it and just pushed it in. And now we're going to glue this part on here, and this is very crucial because we have to hold it like that until it dries, so it will look properly. And now we have some elastic tubes into a little smaller tube and put them inside the other tube in the middle there, and that was too long, so I had to fix it. By the way, they look like that when they're finished. And now this is for taking a lot of cables and putting them on the wall part, but they will serve a completely different purpose here. But I'm going to just screw them into the foam here. You can also glue them, but the screws will hold up well because this will not have any stress to it. And now we're going to put this very obviously bootlegged Nike belt, which I happens to have around, which I find when I was cleaning a place, but whatever. And you see, they are put on like that, and now they are going to be attached together. There's gonna be some side pouches on this, but I'm not gonna make them because I have some of them, so that looks close enough, so I can have some pocket functions when I'm walking around with this thing on. So you see, I'm just going to put on a bolt in the middle there, so I can just have some little bit of rubber bands holding it together like that. So you see, it will correct itself back to it, because if I was attaching this would just fall out and look really stupid. Folding itself out is the correct sentence. Anyway, so now we're going to make some holes here, because holes are good for putting things through, and mark them up on the chest piece. So I will put this on with bolts. Why, you might be wondering, why bolts? Because I want to take this off at some point in case I want to improve this costume. So these are going to be put onto the shoulders here. Also for traveling purpose, this can be quite good to have. They're being removed. So you see that it looks amazing. And now as you see, I'm just going to open this up like that, and now we're just going to pull that off. So these things will be taking like 5 minutes to put on when it's finished. And now we're going to cut out the side part here, which is going to be the last thing I do on this costume. On the torso part here, because I forget something really crucial. But this has been a very long part, and I worked a little bit too much on these things at the same time. Anyway, you see there, but I think you'll all be happy with this very long part. You see, here it is. Then we're gonna pan up here that it starts to actually look like the Doom costume very, very nicely. So thank you for watching, and I hope this was informative. Subscribe and so on. Thank you for watching. Bye. Thank you for watching. Bye. Thank you for watching.